What's up? It's your boy Super Mario 1990 coming at you with the Batman trailer reaction. This is trailer number 3 for the Batman, which I'm surprised we're getting because we're still a couple of months away. The movie comes out March 4th, I believe, and we just had a trailer a couple of months ago during DC Fandom. So I thought we were going to get one more closer to the time, like a few weeks from release, but they're giving us a third one right now. But hey, it's the Batman. He got to have that promotion, that marketing. He's worth it. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I was one of the people that was highly skeptical of this movie from the idea stages before they dropped the first trailer. Just mentioning that Robert Pattinson was gonna be the new Batman, I was kind of like, "That's that dude from Twilight that be wearing makeup." I don't know how that's gonna go. Like he seemed a little too soft. I don't know, cause I just after The Dark Knight Rises and the whole that great trilogy from Nolan and Christian Bale, I just have not been feeling Batman. And so it's like back when they went and got Ben Affleck, I was cool with that idea because I'm like, okay, Christian Bale doesn't want to come back. And they had a great trilogy. It ended well. So I'm like, if I see a good ending, I don't want to see it undone. So it's like, just leave it alone, reboot, do something else. And so they was talking about Ben Affleck. And I'm like, okay, cool. I like Ben Affleck. I like some of his movies. He'd be a good choice. That's what I thought. I actually went to bat for the man. I was rooting for him. I went to bat for him, no pun intended, but I was going to bat for that man playing Batman. And then when the movies dropped, I was like, oh, never mind. He ain't really getting it done like I thought he would. And I didn't like the directions they was going in. I just did not like the reiteration. I just didn't like nothing about it, the themes, nothing. It was just boring. And so I'm like, okay, we're getting to get another Batman after his failed Batman. Can we just kind of like leave it alone? But I think the only thing that I really liked at the time was that the lovely and talented Zoe Kravitz was going to play Catwoman. So I was like, okay, I'll see this movie alone just for that. But I don't know how it's going to shape out. But then the first trailer dropped during Fandom last year. And I was like, okay, for the first look in the first trailer, this movie looks fire. Okay. I was even able to overlook things I didn't like. Like, I remember before the trailer, they were dropping like images and like the Batmobile. I wasn't feeling the Batmobile because I'm like, okay, we're going back to the old school car type of Batmobile. And I was just so used to the Tumbler, like from the Dark Knight trilogy. But it's like, okay, that, tank and Humvee hybrid. But it's like that was different, for its time. You got to go back to the real Batman kind of Batmobile. So they actually taking it back old school, but I just wasn't feeling the suit either. I really did not like the skinny bat logo. I still don't like the skinny bat logo now that I like see it in action. But I'm able to overlook it a little bit, I feel like. But it's like I like my bat logo like thick, like Kevin Conroy's animated Batman version from the 90s. So I'm like, I really wasn't feeling that. It looks like a batarang on display that they got in this one. The suit, he looks like a net, like a net walking around with two bat ears. It was like, I don't know, man. But when I saw the trailer, I was like, okay, the movie actually does look really good. And then I saw the second trailer that dropped a couple of months ago, and I'm like, it's looking better. And it seems like Zoe Kravitz does have more screen time, that she does have more presence. Because I was actually kind of scared of that. I'm like, is she just like a name and then she has like a few scenes? Or like, does she like really, really play a part? Like, I want her to have a meaty role in this movie. From the second trailer that we came from, it seemed like she does. Trailer 3, we're going to check this one out, see what's going on. And I will give y'all my impressions and thoughts afterwards. So here we go, y'all. The Batman, trailer number 3.
Bothering you here, but your people keep telling me you're unavailable.
You out there being a Batman, Trey.
You really could be doing more for this city. Your family has a history of philanthropy, but as far as I can tell, you're not doing anything.
You out there in them streets late at night too. Oh. This Batman is violent.
Riddler is asking for you.
The killer left this with the Batman. Why is he writing to you?
It's the guy from Black Panther, I think.
I've been trying to reach you.
Riddler's latest. It's all about the Waynes. If we don't stand up, no one will.
You got a lot of cats.
I have a thing about strength.
her friend fool.
I'm just here to
Think about.
unmask the truth about this cesspool we call a city. You're part of this too. Hey, stop! Stay still! How am I part of this? Oh, you're really not as smart as I thought you were. Away.
Cool.
All these years, you lied to me, Alfred. We don't have those scars, Bruce.
You're still awake.
He's involved in this. Oh, he's not involved. How do you know? He's a vigilante.
Who are you under there? What are you hiding?
Selena, don't throw your life away.
Don't worry, honey. I got 9 of them.
It can be cruel, poetic, or blind. But when it's denied, it's through violence you may find.
Justice.
Justice.
Yeah.
The answer's justice.
I got it right. I be getting villain stuff wrong all the time. He go over my head. I don't know.
Let's get in some trouble.
Ooh, okay. Nice. Ooh. This boy brutal, man. Yeah, March 4th. Okay, this is still looking good. I think this is the best one. I'm seeing that Zoe Kravitz really is like almost like on equal footing with Batman. So it's like she does have a meaty role. It looks like from this trailer. That's what's up. I'm liking what I'm seeing. It's got that dark, gritty mood. The tone is just dark. I'm loving it. This is a violent Batman, yo. Like Ben Affleck, his was pretty violent too. But this dude, just the way he be fighting and beating people down, it's like, man. Like, it's like, I know Alfred gonna be like, yo, man, like, you crack somebody's skull open. They was calling me from the Gotham Hospital. Dude was on life support. He ain't make it. Like, take a little bit up off them punches, bro. Like, he is just violent in this one. And I just caught a glimpse. I don't know if I ever noticed it or if I ever realized it, but they got the cat with the one arm from Black Panther and Avengers Age of Ultron. He's playing Alfred, which is weird to me because I don't know. He just don't come across as like someone that has bedside manner. Like he don't come across like somebody who's like a nurturing, philosophical like butler that you actually see Alfred Pennyworth like. Like I don't know. He just. But then again, Alfred Pennyworth, he is an OG too. Like if you've seen the origin series or if you know of Alfred's origins, you know that Alfred back in his heyday, back in like the 50s, 60s, whatever, in his homeland, that lad, he was a pretty impressive G. Like he did some things before and during the time he had met Thomas Wayne. So maybe he's playing that version of Alfred. I don't know. Or maybe it does work. It just didn't. I don't know. I'm picturing him how he was in Black Panther, and I'm like going from that to Alfred. I don't know how that works because the other Alfred we had was Jeremy Irons during Ben Affleck's tenure. And I'm like, I like Jeremy Irons as like, you know, he was like one of the best like villains. Like he was in Die Hard 3 playing Hans's brother getting revenge, playing with John McClane. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I like him as an actor, but I'm like, as Alfred, he don't even look like an Alfred. He don't come off as an Alfred. I don't know. I'm just so used to like certain Alfreds that I grew up off of. And it's like when I see somebody else other than Michael Caine or hear somebody else's voice other than the cat who played him in Batman animated series, it's kind of like, it's a little weird. Like even the old Alfred from the first 4 Batman movies, like Batman Returns, and you know Batman and Robin and all of them, Batman Forever, he did a pretty good job too. So it's like, I don't know, like Alfred's a certain type of way to me, and the last 2 Alfreds they've been getting for the cinematic movies, I'm kind of like, this is real questionable. Like y'all just hiring anybody at this point that y'all like and not who's right for the part. I don't know, but maybe this dude does a good job. I don't know. Like this Batman seems to be focusing on someone trying to take down the Waynes, because it reminds me of the Batman Telltale game, the first one that they made, where like, okay, his father, like the legacy of the Waynes have been like getting torn down because his father isn't this saint that, you know, he claimed to be, or that the city, you know, made him out to be. It was the Riddler too. I think the Riddler exposed him. I think the Penguin was trying to expose him too in that game. And it's kind of like, okay, he wasn't this angel that y'all thought he was, and people was just putting his business out on blast. And it's kind of like, if you think about it, it has to be true, because the man was gunned down in an alley. Like, if you die that way, beside your wife with your kid watching, you really wasn't as clean out here in these streets as you claim to be. Like, if you went out like that, clean people don't do that. So it's like, I think that's where they're going with this one. I'm really liking that story. And I think that's why he's talking to Alfred like, man, you lied to me all these years, because Alfred was, he was kind of like down with them, like, especially watching the Pennyworth series too, like, because I wonder if that's kind of some kind of canon with Batman's story and his parents' backstory and Alfred's backstory as well, because I mean they was some gangsters back in the day, all three of them. So it's kind of like maybe some of that comes out here. Bruce Wayne's find out his family isn't like the kind of like, holier than thou kind of people that they, were pretty much pictured to be. But you got that going on. I'm seeing it's action packed. Like, I saw that in the second trailer, how action packed this movie was. Not that Batman like never has action, but it's like I'm seeing things blowing up, cars flipping. Like, I'm seeing like normal action movie type stuff. I'm really just used to Batman really just fighting and just having them cool moves. Maybe he'll blast something open, but I'm not used to like straight up explosions like every few seconds. This is looking pretty brutal, man. Like blockbuster type stuff. So I'm really liking what I'm seeing in this movie. I'm liking the direction they go in, the mood. The story's gonna be really cool. It seems like the focus, like I said, is on tearing down the Wayne's legacy, and Bruce is probably finding out who his parents really are. I don't know, maybe there's some other stuff going on too, but that's kind of like the main thing that I'm really interested in. And then, of course, seeing the beautiful, lovely Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, how she do, that's gonna be what's up. The casting, except for that Alfred Cat, I'm really interested to see. I didn't really get to see him in this one. I think I heard his voice for a second, but they got Jeffrey Wright playing James Gordon, which is real cool. I don't think I've ever seen a black Jim Gordon before, so that's what's up to see James Gordon as a POC. And I like Jeffrey Wright as an actor too, man. Deep respect for him. I think I first recognized him in the Shaft remake that Samuel Jackson starred in, which coincidentally, Christian Bale was in that movie too. They were both villains in Shaft. Samuel Jackson had crossed paths with both of them, and they were both trying to make a deal too. That's actually kind of funny, because I remember when Christian Bale for Batman Begins was Batman, I was doubtful of him too, because I'm like, that's the cat from the villain from Shaft, and he was in the Newsies. Like, how he gonna play Batman? Now today he's my favorite Batman of all time, cinematically. So I'm like, oh, okay, that actually worked. But it's kind of funny, like he played Batman, and then after him, you got Jeffrey Wright playing Jim Gordon. That would have been cool to actually see them both together in the same universe. That kind of would have been funny. It would have been like a funny contrast from what you've seen in the Shaft remake to see them be Batman and like see them be like good guys now, and trying to like partner up. That actually would have been funny. I wonder if that's probably why they got him in this movie, coming off of from 2 franchises ago, coming off from Christian Bale. But I can't wait to see what he do. But I mean, I've seen him like in spurts here or there, so I don't know if he really has a presence. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. And maybe they're setting up sequels too. I'm pretty sure they should be. It's Batman, and this looks promising. A lot of people are rallying around it. It does like it's going to be good. It does like it will have some success behind it. So I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see it. Like I said, I'm feeling like it's going to be the next best Batman movie, just a notch or few below the Dark Knight trilogy, but it looks like it's gonna rival it. It's like it's gonna be up there. Like I'm a believer now. I'm like, oh, I don't know what I was so skeptical of, but this actually is shaping up to be like a pretty solid Batman film. It looks like it's gonna be really good. Can't wait for it to come out. And yeah, man, let me know if y'all looking forward to this movie, and what is your favorite live action Batman movie. Like I said, mine is The Dark Knight Rises, my favorite comic book movie of all time. Love that one. But yeah, man, this your boy Super Mario 1990, and I'm out. Peace in.